Today, Rinpoche continued his explanation of Nagarjuna's precious garland, showing us how all results are concordant with their causes, and it takes an enormous amount of virtue to produce even one of the marks that a Buddha has, let alone the 32 major marks and the 80 minor marks. So when we think in terms of the way we measure things, we don't have a measurement that's big enough for us to know how much merit it would take to complete the collection of merit, or how much wisdom it would take to complete the collection of wisdom. It takes an enormous amount that we don't even have a measurement for in our world. So we call it immeasurable. Okay, Digson Rinpoche, good so soon.
Tetayu tu neni sanji jene tubi jo. Tetando na sonata ishi dene taten de te ishena kaza sonaji tu na ishi tu neni sanji gomu tubi jo res.
Less so.
Jo. Tetando na sonata ishi jene taten de sonata ishi tu neni sheba je res.
Less so.
Sona tu sona chudu tukuni jena tu zugu laji juji resuna ba sona tu sani chudu tukuni jena tu zugu laji juji resuna ba ishi sona tu sani chudu tukuni jena tu chugu laji juji resuna ba ishi tu sani.
Less so. Tuche, that's good. Okay, so welcome everyone to the Chenrezig Tibetan Buddhist Center. Once again, Rinpoche is going over Nagarjuna's precious garland, the Uma Rinchen Chewa. And we are currently on stanza number 213, and it reads as follows. Thus, these two collections are the causes of attaining Buddhahood, so in sum always rely upon merit and wisdom. So in order to achieve Buddhahood, it's necessary to have specific causes for the specific results that occur when one achieves enlightenment. So in order to be a Buddha, it's necessary to collect method and to collect wisdom. It's not possible to become a Buddha without collecting both of them, because the bodies of the Buddha rely upon those collections. So when we look at the Buddha, him or herself, we see that there are the truth bodies and the form bodies. So the form bodies are the enjoyment body and the emanation body, and the truth body have the exalted wisdom body. Yeshi the chuku ewa ni get the larana. Yeshigi chuku dan. In a chuko the ewa ni the mingare. Okay, that's just... Okay. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, good. Okay. 117:20. Just give me one moment. Okay, this is good. Rinpoche gave a very specific definition, and I'm just seeing, because I can, just for a moment, if the definition is right here. Okay, good. Okay, so when we look at the Buddha, I'm back. When we look at the Buddha's bodies are divided into two categories, the Dharma body and the form body. The Dharma body consists of two categories, the nature body and the wisdom body. And then the form bodies consist of two categories, which are the enjoyment bodies and the emanation bodies. So we see that these are all of the categories that make up the Buddha, basically. We see that the hold on. Okay, so then in Rinpoche, the chuku, the ngo ni chuku, the yeshe, the chapagare.
So no chugula je listen about the eject to
The ne chuku ewa ni yeshe chuku ngo ni yeshe chuku sho. Okay, so when we look at the two bodies of the Buddha that are called the Dharma bodies, I just want to be very specific because I have the opportunity to do so right now. So I think it's important that we do that. So we look at what a Buddha is. The Buddha is made up of what we call two bodies, but when we say bodies, they're basically the states of existence so that the Buddha is abiding in. So if we say body is how we translate it, but it's really the form, without saying the actual form, but the form that the Buddha is in at that time, what the Buddha's state is. So the Buddha's states or bodies are divided into two major headings, truth body and form body. Truth body is divided into two categories, the nature body and the wisdom body. The wisdom body is the omniscience that the Buddha has. So that is the fact that the Buddha is all-knowing. So that state of omniscience that the Buddha abides in is the wisdom body. The nature body is that body that lacks true establishment, that is stainless and has a cessation of suffering. So the nature body, it says here, a nature body is of two types. A naturally pure nature body, which is the absence from beginningless time of inherent existence in the pure sphere of Buddhahood, and an advantageously pure nature body, which is the absence in the sphere of Buddhahood of the advantageous stains, the afflictive obstructions and the obstructions to omniscience. So it's basically the state of cessation that the Buddha abides in. So that's a permanent state, whereas the other body is not permanent because it's consciousness, it's omniscience. So those are the two truth bodies. So the nature body, which is the natural state of cessation the Buddha stays in, the natural state of emptiness that all things are. And then the wisdom body, which is the omniscience, the all-knowing state that the Buddha is in. Next category are the form bodies, the enjoyment body and the emanation body. So the enjoyment body is a body which abides in a pure land. It abides in the highest pure land, and it says that each Buddha has his or her own pure land, and it has certain qualities. That the enjoyment body is an impermanent body, so it's not something that's permanent. Doesn't mean that it dies. It's not impermanent in the way that we're thinking. It just isn't. When you look at categories, the things that are permanent or impermanent, it falls categorically under impermanent, and it is a body which teaches. It teaches the Mahayana doctrine specifically. So the emanation body can teach both the Hinayana and the Mahayana. And the enjoyment body teaches the Arya Bodhisattvas. So the Ngade Long, the Rinpoche, the Longku, the Papi Shanchu Semba, the Kong Getru. Then the Soshin, the Kong Dajin, the Shanchu Semba, Papa Shansen Kona. Then Kon the Becha Trigadu, then Techen Kona Trigadu. Then the Zuku, the Zuku, La Ewa Ni, the Longku, Zuku, Techen Danteme tree. Longku Techen Kona tree. The Datayen. Okay, so the enjoyment body only teaches the Mahayana Dharma, to Arya Bodhisattvas, and each Buddha has his or her own enjoyment body or pure land, and that's impermanent. So that's the quality of the enjoyment body. And then the emanation body is the body of the Buddha that emanates as whatever it needs to be of benefit. So the Buddha in that body does teach Hinayana and Mahayana, whereas the enjoyment body only teaches Mahayana. This is something I learned today. The emanation body teaches both Hinayana and Mahayana, and is said to just be a body that emanates in order. It says, perform their task without effort and are withdrawn. So the emanation body appears, performs its task without any effort, and then it disappears. So it says it says a sentient being noticing or not noticing them depends on. It says a sentient being's noticing or not noticing them as such depends on his or her fortune, which is formed through the potencies established on the mind by his or her virtuous or non-virtuous deeds. So basically, a Buddha appears, and whether we know they're a Buddha or not depends on our karma. So our virtuous and non-virtuous karma. So a Buddha could be appearing to us, and we wouldn't know it if we didn't have the karma to see it. So the emanation body appears, responds to sentient beings' needs throughout time and space. It says they perform their task, they get in and get out, basically. They form their task without effort, and then they withdraw. So that's the reason. It says there's 3 types of emanation bodies. Artisans, such as guitarists, goldsmiths, and scribes. 2, constructions, such as a tree or a deer, so they can become a tree or a deer. And then supreme beings who display the 12 activities of a bodhisattva who becomes a Buddha. So the 12 activities you'll see, which show the stages that, and you'll see it with Shakyamuni, how Shakyamuni, when was a bodhisattva, became a Buddha. You'll see emanation bodies doing that, displaying that. And that's why we say that the Buddha Shakyamuni was already a Buddha, was an emanation of a Buddha, of Buddha Shakyamuni, which is confusing, I understand, but emanated as Prince Siddhartha, emanated to show all of these things, and then emanated this idea that he became a Buddha, and then taught how to become a Buddha, and then passed away. So you'll see in the Buddha's life that the Buddha didn't stay forever or wasn't permanent. So you see that emanation body was impermanent. Then the zuku, the kashe zuken. Then kashe the shin chikshena, the shawa. Then kashe the shanchu semba, the zuku. Then juni, the juni, the zepa juni, the zuku. Ene the lasso. Okay, digson. So that's cool. So when we look at the 2 collections of merit and wisdom, merit is what causes the form bodies. So the enjoyment body and the emanation body. So the collection of merit creates that. The collection of wisdom creates the truth body. So that's why it's necessary to have both collections in order to become a Buddha, because they are responsible for the parts of the Buddha to occur. When we look at the definition of collection of merit, It says it's within the lineage of that which gives rise to the form body of the Buddha. And then when we look at the collection of wisdom, it says it's within the lineage of action which gives rise to the truth body of the Buddha. So check those definitions. I believe you'll find their Panchen Sonandrapa's definitions of the collection of merit and collection of wisdom. So I don't have them in front of me. Rinpoche said them quickly and as before, and I believe that's the best translation of the definition. But if I omitted anything, I would say to check that source for sure of Panchen Sonandrapa's textbook. We'd probably find them in the Prajnaparamita text, the Parshin Shitun, I would say you'll find that, a big, large breakdown of the bodies of the Buddha and how they're created. Okay. Jripa Londembi
Oji Shebi Jundeyi Shanshu Drubi Sonan Dala Jelu Mishawos Rebatan Londembi Oji Shebi Jundeyi Shanshu Drubi Sonan Sode Shanshu Tubi Jures Dala Jelu Mishawos Dal Sadoche Wars Jelu Teju
less so. Then Sho
Shuna Kundo Nakatan Sadan Chodan Madalon Cheta Tai Dejindo Dungen Jen Tai Lu Nakal Tada Mama Naji Dungen La Tada Mayo Mares Tai Lu Sejen Tai Tedana Shanshu Samba Hizewe Dunga Dala Tranchite Sanji Jila Gobangas Tashanju Sambatu Dunga Jensen Tukangalo Dunga Jante Sanji Gubon Gobade Nebares Sanji Gubu Tubi Sanji Gubon Tu Nebares
the Yanjar Suranang Gonga Mebachik through the Ninji the Yanjar Suranang Semchen
Shuna Kundo Nakatan Sadan Yotam Sadan Chuda Madalon Chetan Nakatejindo Dunga
Ale
Tai Lus Nakal Tamebanaji Dunga Tamebares Tai Lu
less so.
Sijin Tai Tadane Shanshu Shamba Hizeyu Dunga Dali Tranchite Sanji Nila Gobangas Shanshu Shamba Tsu Dunga Jenga Sijin Tukangalo Dunga Tane Sanji Gobon Goba Sanji Gobon Nila
Less so.
Goba Nebares
Less so.
Tatar Temple Nana Manyawaya Nyayang Yanda Lamba Nazunte Pame Lejang Sijen Nam
Ale the Leka Gariena Gewasa the Donda
Taishana Sijen Suna Tai Tasu Joro Tai Tena Sanji Tai Tunjuru Kashisha Sanji Gomu Tua Kal Kabores
Ale
Kaji Pame Tunete Lejen Pato Men Dunto Shanshu Pato Men Dujin Shanshu Sejen Pato Meba Naji Shanshu Pato Mebares
less so.
Pato Mebandu Gawa Pato Mensheba Gawa Pato Mensheba Teku Shanshu Pame Jang Pato Meba Naji Yi Tsuji Rembo Matuba Cheta Pena Tuman Jurus Sona Gaishik Tula Tene 사지 그 투바 먼저 또 그래스 소나 타이 셰바다 에시 타이 소나 투다 이시도 타이 셰바데 르르르르던 세제 동에다 뇨아니도 세워지스 르지 동에다 예지 동에 아니 매바잖아 그래서
Ale, the Sanje, the Gewa, the Badu Medu, Yene, Semchen, Tranka, Ale, the Semchen, the Mipa Mambo Yure, the Insunsan Gewa. Okay, Selpudu, Selpuchaso. Mipa Mambo, the Insunsan Gewa Mambo. Then Sanje Gewa Mambo Gu, Gewa Mambo Yure, Ganginsen, Semchen Mambo Yure. Ngatsu Ninji Mipa Semchen. Ale Selpochason. Okay, Tuchena. Then a Deepa.
Deepingando Lugina Dunga Jagon Lasso Jong. Dibalatina and Dunga Yungres. Galatin Dawa Yungres, what is Montroa? Teddy. 마지 소나지 시바제나 테메도스 시바제나 테메도 모바니지 동네 차단 지단 돌아서 대대매비 시바이 근데 상주 녀도 근데 녀와
That's cool. The K Chambledu 21, 23. Then the Ducha, Shidang, Shiwa, the Ducha, the Kanga, the Shiji, the Gare, the Yanjer Sunang, the K Chambledu. Cha
Jidang, Dolaso.
Leso.
Then maybe Shebai, then Shanshu. No.
Then Yorwa need to pon.
No, near the bone.
Then
no more was she the Juba to this.
Ale shi Nuji Shiji Nuji Nietzsche. Nietzsche. Okay. Okay. ANG la. Okay. The. Do not feel inadequate about this accumulation of merit to achieve enlightenment, since reasoning in Scripture can restore one's spirits. So be careful here to understand that these are necessary in order to achieve enlightenment. But by looking at Scripture, one can have resolve, seeing that it's possible, and understanding that there are reasons why you'll be able to do it, basically. It shows you this. Just as in all directions, space, earth, water, fire, and wind are without limit, so suffering sentient beings are limitless. So it's setting up the idea that the objects of your compassion, the objects of your virtue are limitless. So if you're wondering how to achieve limitless virtues, you have limitless objects of observation. So it's setting this idea up that just as in all directions, space, earth, water, fire, and wind are without limits, so suffering sentient beings are too. So you can look at, imagine all the directions and imagine all of the earth, water, wind, fires, and spaces there are, and you say, oh, that's limitless. But then also, if you think of sentient beings suffering, it's as limitless as that idea. Through their compassion, bodhisattvas are determined to lead these limitless sentient beings out of suffering and establish them in Buddhahood. So we learned when in Scripture, when things like limitless and countless are used, it means that within our mind, within our limited capacity of counting, our limited ability to count, we can't imagine the numbers that they're talking about. We can't imagine the numbers of sentient beings. So it's basically saying that we don't have a way within our system of thinking to come up with a number that big enough. So it's limitless according to our ability to think about it. Now, a Buddha knows how many there are. So how could it be limitless? Well, it's not. So that's not the best word to use. But the Buddha doesn't operate within our limited framework. So the Buddha has limitless knowing. So the Buddha can understand things that are greater, or of greater, that require greater wisdom to understand than we currently have present. So when the Buddha speaks of beginningless, he means it. But when the Buddha speaks of there's countless, then if there are facts that can be determined by a Buddha, then we can't say that they're static like that there is no number. It's saying that we in our limited mind state can't understand how big that number is. We don't have a number that big and that we can come up with. So it's not only that it means a whole lot when we say, before we came to the conclusion that when they say that it means a really long time, what it really means is that within the scope of our understanding as worldly beings, sentient beings, not Buddhas, because the line of demarcation between a sentient being and non-sentient is the 10th Bodhisattva ground. So sentient beings have a limited ability to be able to count in that magnitude, is what it's saying. So establish that and establish them in Buddhahood. Hence, whether sleeping or not sleeping, after thoroughly assuming such compassion, those who remain steadfast, even though they might not be meticulous, always accumulate merit as limitless as all sentient beings. Since sentient beings are limitless, know that since causes are limitless, limitless Buddhahood is not hard to attain. So it's setting up this idea when we say that the Buddha is created by limitless virtues, or countless virtues. How could I possibly obtain such a thing? By creating virtue in relation to countless sentient beings, by accumulating countless virtues. How could I accumulate countless virtues? There's countless sentient beings. And here, the object of observation of a bodhisattva's compassion is all sentient beings. And the object of observation of the bodhisattva's bodhicitta is all sentient beings. So everything that a bodhisattva does is virtuous in relation to all sentient beings. And that's how one can quickly achieve enough virtue to become a Buddha, because of the object. The virtue that one is creating is multiplied so greatly because the object is so expansive. Hence, though enlightenment is limitless, how could they not attain it with those 4 limitless collections without being delayed for long? The limitless collection of merit and the limitless collection of wisdom eradicate just quickly physical and mental sufferings. The physical sufferings of bad transmigrations such as hunger and thirst arise from ill deeds. Bodhisattvas do not commit ill deeds, and due to meritorious deeds, do not have physical sufferings in other lives. So it's saying they no longer create the causes for those things to occur. So this is why they're able to say that they don't have to experience them in the future, because the causes for their experience have been eradicated. And then it says something really important. I had Rinpoche read it twice. The mental sufferings of desire, hatred, fear, lust, and so forth arise from obscuration. Through knowing them to be baseless, they just quickly forsake mental suffering. So the obstructions to omniscience and the afflictive obstructions are what cause us to have the mental sufferings of desire, hatred, fear, lust, etc. And it says knowing them to be baseless. What gives rise to afflictions is when we look at cause and effect, and we look at how cyclic existence is created. we see that first there is grasping at true establishment. So there is a misunderstanding of reality. There is a misunderstanding of the object of observation of the consciousness. So then it grasps at that object as being truly established, and then as a result of that grasping, then the afflictions occur. So it misunderstands and grasps at it as being true, and then attachment arises, hatred arises, fear arises, lust arises, and then action arises, and then action creates consequence or result. And negative actions, which are the actions we're talking about, cause suffering, cause more cyclic existence, because results are concordant with their causes. So you can see how by stopping that which gives rise to the afflictions, the actions are also stopped. By stopping by not misunderstanding the object of observation, the ability for those negativities that arise from misunderstanding to arise no longer exists. So one completely eradicates that ability for the arisal of those things which give rise to bad thinking, which gives rise to bad acting. And it's really the thinking behind the thinking, because you can be attached, which can drive your mind to then come up with jealousy and different things. It doesn't mean that when I say then karma is created, that it's only body karma, physical karma or verbal karma. It's also the mental karma that's created, which is driven by the grasping at things. It's called improper mental conduct, which occurs from this grasping. You think about things in an inaccurate way. So it's improper because it's inaccurate. So that's what occurs. So you grasp, you have improper mental conduct, you then react mentally, physically, verbally, negatively. And then that causes more suffering that comes in the form of birth, aging, sickness, and death. Okay, we'll do one more round. Let's see, I know about transmigrations. Nisha, Nisum. I think, the mental, since thus, 224. Okay. Ludang yi ji dungyal ji.
Ludang yi ji dungyal ji. Tatara shinto mamena. Kete jiten yetat par. Jiten den jang jitum jo. Dungyal wala. Tutong yang. Zuka yani.
Lesso. Lesso.
There's send doing a human. Didn't do the new generation. And Quama don't but negres. They use Haji then to share. Look at them, Jello Haji go to the Tari, but it's on a Jello Cheju Mare. So now the Shizula to have Sago res. Look them Jemolo. Niazi yunten tuntune, tala tato mebasha. Niaba sebi cheto, yunten mabu subi cheto, tui tato tundu zangu res, mebasha. Chatan shidang temo ta, niaba chene, yonsopon. Desha shidang temo tu junyeba shene, and the pongu res, nyabutene. Macha Madame the moment, Madame the moment, you attention, Kubates, Dosha may be good, I should not maybe good at the moment we got to go. yöden yobat chene kuba jina watusu tengures
Ale, yosun, dusun, getsasun.
what
Lojundum. Lojundum.
chabe yeda roanjuru shidang gine nyawa pens dosha la tene yedal chegre kondu la tene nyawa chegres mobe peche mobala mobe jushe bala tene tondo rogres tondo dobe ladan ta dosha meba de shida meba de suge tene ladan mal chegres many dos Chenmo yenten demba na mabar toa pai chu shebe demba chen seba neba leba wai chu sanje kuzu chuden dang zola kan dang ku su do 신도 자신 내라서 자신 쇼보 조와 저 제체군레 제바이 상제구 일레신 레버 제바 빼말라 쇼바다다 레버체 군지 제바 제두스 다주 글로 근데다 예대 군지 장원도 세다레 제 자와다 이제 최대 나라서 이제 최대 세계 최대다 어떤 데서 오히려
The Garshine. Oh, the Kangalo. That's Kensa. Okay.
세담
Nigji.
제 가와다 이제 최대 나라도 이 최대 나라도 세담 문제 마도다
33.
도저로 마티다
Ale.
문제야 마부터 서버서 두니들 통가 챔비 최대 또 최대를 줘봐야
The Gendun Chupabu. Gendun Rinpoche.
아주 말라
Ngetsampa.
줘봐네 얘도 거기 다 대봐 가와줘와 나지 신 최는 봐 대만도 라마렌도 그녀다
Ale.
샹드원 연애다네 동수다 샹주 사바나라야 다도 그비 최반주스 라마르지 녀고시야 어떤 일이로 그녀다 샹드 샤시슈야 샹드다네 동수수 샹주 사바나라야 다도 그비죠 샹주 사바슬라 그바진 최반부 고레스 예지메디 제yenla
The Kali Kabuldu. The Ngatsu de
Kuja.
Gecheshe.
majedes 최제 메디제 쉐르 메디 바젠달라 그바시 고레스
Then a Gupa my Yomari the Chikshina.
그다
Gu.
그다 그바시 고레스
The Yishu Gegen Gupiche Yomaribe.
그다 최자 마자데사 메디 바도를 그바다 샤차주에 말레스
Shatse. Gupa respect Ale. Okay.
샤차주에 말레스
Okay. The K Chempo. The Delpa Rinpoche. The Sheda K Chempo do.
야
Gangyun Sina. The Inji K Lona. Sampa. The Yishu Yapi Yomare. Then the Konsu Ducha. Then Gupa Gu Yomare. Guche Yomare. The Lo Yomare. The Dunda Yomare. Rebe. The Lomar. Jinju, gu nye, de gu,
Lama rendu kunye dans.
de gu nye.
Lama la rendu to kube shen chunye wures.
Ale,
Shandin
respecting
tang
the, okay.
dongsu tang, shanshu shenpa nang la yang, dadu kube cheban zus. Lama la rendu sheba nang shi shanshu shenpa zole ya, kube shen cheban wures.
Okay, less so.
Chö je me ti jen da la, kue tang chö sha ma je de. Ma she na chan ti jen ji, chön de che la, chan jo run da, tong an song tang, de shong yu, zhong nang de tang, le bon ne, tang se da tang, nyogu ta, ho do, doa yin pa dus, ta, nga to pa chan de zuba yin na nga ma le, kampi tan de ne men san yang se, ye ke tri gu ho ra, wa de su song de sa.
Less so. Pudding te, then konde gu te, ngol te. Ale.
Yu du ye ki, cha gang do, Sumen Tsu Yu She Wa Tang, Shin Tse Wa Yi, Nga Ba Ne, Ishi Bi Yi Tao Zu, Ishi Bi Yi Tao Ju Res, Gen De She Ba, Ne Ba Yi, Shin Chen Du Ngen, Se Le Do, Yu Du Men Ba, Di Khen Ta, Shin Ki Ten Ba, Ju Du Su. Dene, Nga, Chulen Tang, Zin Tang Du Khan, Chura Ta, Meze, Ta Tang, Shin Ten Ba, Shiro Zombi, Je Du Tu, Zhong Tang Zula, Khan Ta Tang, Zhong Cher, Gun Du Khan Tang, Chukun Lan Nang, Tang Je Do, Chura Ta Ne, Je Du Dus, Ta Chulu Yung Sa Tu Su La, Chuka Ha Je Zu Ya Yoro, Tu Song Di.
The jelpo, konge chishe.
O Di.
The yapozu, the
Chuka Chun Yo Na, Chuka Sa Zu Go Re.
less so. Nge inji kelo.
Ya.
Okay, so we're stuff there. Got quite a bit. Okay, hence, where did I leave off? 220? I think so, right? Let me just run through this real quick in case I missed any commentary. Hence, though enlightenment is limitless, how could they not attainment with the four limitless collections without being delayed for long? The limitless collection of merit and the limitless collection of wisdom eradicate just quickly physical and mental sufferings. The physical sufferings of bad transmigration, such as hunger and thirst, arise from ill deeds. Bodhisattvas do not commit ill deeds, and due to meritorious deeds, do not have physical suffering in other lives. The mental suffering of Okay, yes, I apologize. That's exactly. The mental sufferings of desire, hatred, fear, lust, and so forth arise from obscuration. Through knowing them to be baseless, they just quickly forsake mental suffering. Since thus they are not greatly harmed by physical and mental suffering, why should they be discouraged, though they lead beings in all worlds? It is hard to bear suffering even for a little. What need is there to speak for doing it for so long? What could bring harm even over limitless time to happy beings who have no suffering? So it's saying that when we look at the potential that there is to no longer suffer, imagine when we look at the potential to no longer suffer, we have to ask ourselves why we're not creating the causes for that to occur. When we see that even having to suffer a tiny bit for a short period of time is almost impossible for us to bear, when we look at this limitless opportunity, why wouldn't we create the causes which would allow for no suffering? It says they have no physical suffering. How could they have mental suffering? Through their compassion, they feel pain for the world and so stay in it long. Hence, do not feel inadequate thinking Buddhahood is far away. Always strive at these collections to remove defects and attain good qualities. So when you're thinking that Buddhahood is impossible and so far away because it takes limitless collections, limitless virtues, look at how powerful the virtue that you are engaging is and how many objects of observation you are relating to and creating virtue in relation to, and then realize that this accumulation becomes much more reasonable when you recognize what one activity of thinking of compassion for all sentient beings really means. When we look at the amount of virtue that's collected, when we look at limitless beings that we're collecting it in relation to. So there's a number, when we sit down and when we become bodhisattvas, and we have this idea that I need to become a Buddha day and night. You're thinking, I want to become a Buddha so that all sentient beings can become Buddhas. When you are day and night under that impression, and that impression alone, you are creating limitless amounts of virtue by saying you want all of those beings to have a state of Buddhahood. So when we look at what the virtue is, it's usually the opposite of its non-virtue. So it's usually the opposite of non-virtue. So when we look at the beginning of the 7-point thought transformation by Geshe Chikawa, we see in the beginning it says the three objects, the three virtues, the three poisons, or something like that. So it says Yul Sum, Du Sum, Getso Sum. So the three poisons and the three virtues, the three poisons are attachment, hatred, and delusion or ignorance. The three virtues are non-attachment, non-hatred, non-delusion. So we said the Yulsum Gare Rimche nge sem Jason Yulsum Gare Yul the three friends, enemies, and neutrals. So the three objects, friends, enemies, and neutrals. Yulsum, Jusum, the three poisons, attachment, hatred, and ignorance, and Getsasum, the three virtues of non-attachment, non-hatred, and non-ignorance. So the reason this comes up is because we find it now in the text where it's pointed out. They have no... hence, do not feel inadequate thinking Buddhahood is far away. Always strive at these collections to remove defects and attain good qualities. Realizing that desire, hatred, and obscuration they're choosing here instead of delusion or ignorance. So just be aware that these are the three poisons that they're talking about here. And obscuration are defects. Forsake them completely, realizing that non-desire, non-hatred, and non-obscuration or non-delusion are good qualities. Inculcate them with vigor. Though through desire one goes into a hungry ghost transmigration. Through hatred one is impelled into hell. Through ignorance or obscuration one mostly goes into an animal transmigration. So it shows the results and what their concordant causes. Through stopping these one becomes a god or a human. So eliminating, so you could say then the opposite. If you look at the opposite of that, then you would say through non-hatred comes God. Through desire it's not in the order that it would be. Through non-hatred comes God. Through non-desire comes demigod. And through hold on, I gotta think about this. The highest, I said that wrong, I apologize. The highest realm of the lower realms is the animal realm. The highest realm of the higher realms is the God's realm. So stopping ignorance creates a God's realm. Stopping desire creates a demigod's realm, and stopping hatred creates a human realm. Because the lowest realm in the higher realms is human, lowest realm in the lower realms is hell. Rinpoche, the ducha pamba, the gomba lodru, the ducha yuna yida ju, the shedang yawa ju, dimu, the dendru ju. Dendru ju. Detsku. Nge ragien. Chape yidra drowa dro shedangi ni ngewar pen. Mumpa pela chedu dro lope ladam mini tu. There. Here, I'll get it for him. I just want to see if that's... Yeah. I got it. Let's see. Chape
dan roa juru roa ro shidang ke ne nyawa phe mo be pheche tonro chigres dobe hada mani dos do cha me ba de shada me ba tala tene badon hal chigres
the ngechiwa the shedang gi depo nyawa the shedang mepa meju, then ducha mepa lama yinju, then timu mepa hlagju. Yeah, okay, so I just want to make sure what I said was accurate. So the opposites are true. So the lowest realm, so when we look at this, through desire, one goes into a hungry ghost migration. Through non-desire, one goes into a demigod transmigration. Through hatred, one is impelled into hell. Through non-hatred, one is impelled into the human realm. Through obscuration or through ignorance, one mostly goes into an animal transmigration. The opposite of ignorance, or the opponent of obscuration or ignorance, one gets to a God's realm. So you see that it works with the engagement and the abandonment, and the causes and effects, they're concordant. Through stopping these, one becomes a god or human. The reason it says god or human, because demigods are gods too. So it's god, demigod, or human, and that's instead of saying god, demigod, or human. Sometimes you'll find Basu Bandhu says 5 realms, and doesn't put the 2 higher realms, 3 lower realms, and puts the gods and demigods together, but they separate them later on. But you find in some texts 5 realms of cyclic existence instead of 6 realms. Okay. Eliminating defects and acquiring good qualities are the practice of those seeking high status. Thoroughly extinguishing conceptions through consciousness of reality is the practice of those seeking definite goodness. So here, remember, high status is referring to the higher realms of cyclic existence. Definite goodness is a liberation. So it's saying that one, if you have good qualities and engage in virtue, then you will definitely achieve higher realm rebirth. But if you don't have the idea of emptiness, you won't go beyond that. If you couple those things with the idea of emptiness, then you can have also liberation. So that is what it means. You should respectfully and extensively construct images of Buddha, monuments, and temples, and provide residences, abundant riches, and so forth. So here, this is speaking to the king again. This is speaking to a king about how he, in this case, is to make a Buddhist kingdom. Please construct from all precious substances images of Buddha in fine proportions, well designed and sitting on lotuses adorned with all precious substances. You should sustain with all endeavor the excellent doctrine in the communities of monastics and decorate monuments with gold and jeweled friezes. Revere the monuments with gold and silver, flowers, diamonds, corals, pearls, emeralds, cat's eye gems, and sapphires. To revere propounders of doctrine is to do what pleases them, offering goods and services and relying firmly on the doctrine. Listen to teachers with homage, respect, serve, and pray to them. Always respectively revere the other bodhisattvas. You should not respect, revere, or do homage to others, the forters, who through that the ignorant would become enamored of the faulty. So here, this is where we end, but Rinpoche went over this. It's important that we read this appropriately. This doesn't say be disrespectful and don't be nice or even look up to, in certain ways, non-Buddhists. So you look at what Forters here, it refers to non-Buddhist practitioners. But what it's saying is don't respect them the way that you would respect the Buddha, because and within that word respect is also faith. So when the respect that it's talking about here has faith also mixed into it. So it's saying that you shouldn't when it says do homage, the word in here is make prostrations. So it's saying that you shouldn't respect and revere and make prostrations to non-Buddhists, because when you're in a state of not high realization, you can become swayed by that and enamored by it. So it's saying advice to someone who isn't already realized. If you start to try to almost say, I'm going to be all religions, and you start to study and have the same amount of respect and faith in non-Buddhists as you do in Buddhists, then you can be swayed and begin to think inaccurately, can start to have wrong ideas. Nowhere in here does it say, don't be friends with non-Buddhists. It doesn't say, stay away from them. It doesn't say anything like that. And that's the important part. Rinpoche is all about inclusion. Rinpoche is into us being non-sectarian. We see Padmasambhava on our site. Rinpoche has done many, many interfaith conferences. So we just want to make sure that it's here, it's talking about becoming there's a word that's used, influenced by, in a way, or able to be influenced by. Make sure you are sure who you put on a pedestal, almost. Make sure you're sure who you make prostrations to is someone who should be the object of a prostration, who is not inaccurate in any way and so forth. So that's all it's saying. It's not saying not to intermingle. It's saying not to become enamored with. And it's saying that if you start to act as if and make prostrations and spend a lot of time around that and study those texts, if you aren't mentally capable of negating the falsehoods in them, you could then be swayed by them and then brought down a wrong road. Dalai Lama says all the time, religions together is great, but don't make tupa out of religion. Tupa is a kind of soup that Tibetans eat. Don't make religion soup. You follow your religion and let's keep that clean so we don't mix it up. I'll follow my religion, let's all be friends, but let's not make soup. We can say, oh, that's a great technique that I admire. If it can enhance my Buddhist practice, that's great. So we can admire and we can have an influence in that way, but not be swayed. So it's a very delicate statement that's being made here, and I think the Dalai Lama says it's best. Don't make religious soup. You know, make Buddhist soup, make Hindu soup, make Christian soup, but don't make Christian, Hindu, Buddhist soup. That's all. I think that's a great way to explain it. Okay, the disa. The nge diseudu, the ngama, Jao Rinpoche sumpare. The yishu yapudu. Nampi chu yapudu. Hindu chu yapudu. Kache chu yapudu. Ngatsu trobo nyamdu yapudu. Yine ngatsu chu nyamdu. Becha chizu yapiomare. And kon this segadu joklang. Kon segadu ngatsu tupa zugumare. The chulu kanga tupa. Tupa zu yapiomare. Kon segadu nampi tupa digson. Hindu tupa digson. Yishu tupa digson. Yine yishu Hindu nampi nyamdu tupa yapiomare. Kon this segadu. Gangisena the Gangisena the nampi chu. The yishu chu rugudu. Nugudu. Yishu chu nampi chu nu. The nich the susu rik yapudu. The dison. Okay, trua dan lenja. Oh, mepa dison. Sar. Okay, hua. I said we have question and answer. There's no one. Unless you have a question, Ted. Okay, we'll end it. We went long, I know. But there was some, I don't know what's going on here, but it's a couple things I never knew. I've been studying for a few minutes here. And there were like three things that I learned today that I had never heard before. And he didn't say it. It's weird. This is weird. Okay. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not making sense, but I don't usually learn a lot of things. I enhance my faith at these classes. Okay. The fundamental ground is scented with incense and strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the four continents, the sun and the moon. I imagine this as a Buddha land and offer it. May all sentient beings enjoy this pure realm. I dedicate whatever virtues I have collected for the benefit of the teachings and of all sentient beings, and in particular for the essential teachings of Venerable Losang Drapa to shine forever. I send forth this jeweled mandala to you, precious Guru. I dedicate all this virtue to emulate the knowledge of the hero Manjushri and likewise Samantabhadra as well, with whatever dedication is praised as supreme by all the conquerors who traverse the three times. I also dedicate all my roots of virtue for the sake of auspicious deeds. In that pure land, surrounded by snowy mountains, you are the source of all benefit and happiness. All-powerful Avalokiteshvara Tenzin Yatso, may you stay until samsara's end. I pray for the long life of the precious Khensur Wandak, upholder of scriptural and realizational doctrines, the spiritual friend who trained extensively in the great philosophical texts with exceptional wisdom and perseverance. Tuji Rinpoche Gutsi Shapi Denronang.